Hello, kings and queens, Shrek and Fiona and donkeys from far, far away. Welcome to my medieval task list, which is an app that is a hierarchical to-do list manager, but with a medieval twist. So expect Monty Python references even if you don't want them. Think of each list as quest journals here, where tasks are quests and subtasks are side quests. But before everything else, let's jump into the core functionality first. Number 1, user authentication. To start, the app requires users to register or log in, ensuring that each user only sees their own quests. In this case, I am new to the realm, so let me register or join the quest. Oh, frick. I forgot to launch the app! Hi, Guya. Okay, I think we can still go on with this. In this case, I am new to the realm, so let's join the quest. And on our register page here, we can choose our title, which for today will be Monty Python. And our royal email address is just my uni email. And after I sign the scroll, I can now log in. So let's do Monty Python again with our secret password. Totally not me. But now we can see that we have the ability in our dashboard to create and manage lists with our name shimmering in its full glory. So here on the main dashboard, you can see that each user has the potential to create multiple lists, or as we call them here, quest journals. Each quest journal is independent and users can create new ones as needed. So over here, let's create a new list. Let me add a sample list called Dragon Slaying Quest. So once a list is created, you'll see that it's positioned smack right in the center for your eyes to see quickly. So next core feature would be the addition of tasks and subtasks up to 3 levels deep. So again, each list can contain tasks or quests, and each quest can have subtasks up to 3 levels deep. So as required by the assignment. So let's add a task under Dragon Slaying Quest called Prepare Armor, because we all want to feel like our full Dark Souls selves, don't we? So once we add Prepare Armor as a subquest, we can see that it's a whole different item list here, which though has that background blur, is still quite visible for our users to catch. Under Prepare Armor, we want to make sure we want to avoid "tis but a scratch" situations. So we gotta make sure our chainmail is well soon. Is that how you call it? And as you can see, we have a toast telling us that our item is created successfully. Again, another layer of feedback for the UX. And let's say I also just want to polish my helmet. Polish cow. And after we add our last quote-unquote subquest, we can see that we can't add any more quests. And at least for this assignment, this limitation is a safeguard to keep the user experience smooth and prevent deep nesting, which can get pretty confusing in the long run. Let's now focus our attentions to the tasks themselves. And onto our next core feature is the ability to expand and collapse tasks. And while the assignment required us to do it on the top level tasks only, I've gone ahead and enabled other tasks to be affected as well. Well, the ability to expand level 2 tasks. And we can also see that if we wanna move tasks in between, say that a tavern is calling for Medusa's head, we can create a new task. And then we can also just transfer over because, oops, I want to get Medusa's head first because the bounty is bigger. But say that Medusa actually turned to be a good person. So maybe you just want to say, save Medusa from the kingdom. We can change our quest with the edit list feature. And now, once we can say that our task is complete, we can simply go through the checkbox with the ability to mark it as complete. And when a task is marked as complete, it visually distinguishes itself, helping users keep track of what's done and what still needs attention. And I've also brought inheritance here, so when I mark the top level task as done, it'll mark everything else as well. Let me just show you again. And boom. And sure, the assignment also requires us to either filter, hide, or delete finished tasks, but wouldn't it be a bit more helpful if we can just toggle the ability to show completed and incompleted tasks so we know what we actually finished and not duplicate our efforts? So I did that in the form of the show/hide completed tasks. And say that the Dragon's Lane quest is irrelevant anymore, you won't be getting any more bounty because you have a price on your head now. Let's just delete that list. And as you've noticed in the modal here, it's delete this list and all its tasks. So I'm gonna dive deeper in the routes side of things, but it's cascading. The delete is cascading so that we don't have any orphan quests. Now that you've seen the core functionality, let me show you the technical structure behind the app and the design decisions I made. My project structure is organized into models, routes, static files, templates, and of course, tests. I kept the backend entirely in Flask with SQLAlchemy for the database. So let's head into app/models. To-do.py and user.py define the database schema. Specifically, to-do.py contains the to-do list and to-do item classes with a self-referential relationship to support task hierarchy. This is the line responsible for it, and we can see that our deletes are cascading. For user.py, this is pretty straightforward, but this represents application users, and I'm really proud of its ability to hash passwords. Thanks, Workzook, if that's how you mention it. But yep, our login manager is here. You can simply load users, create users, and all that jazz. So heading on to the routes. I meant to create users and routes, not here. This is defining the class. Sorry about the confusion. But heading over to routes, we can see that auth.py handles user authentication. Going deeper into that, I've also made sure to incorporate a few best practices for Python, and we can already see that we have our decorator here, complete with the endpoint name, the methods of get and post, the expected output, type validation if you may, and the doc string to help us know or help future developers know what the specific functions do on hover. And we can see that it has successfully created a tooltip. And so we can see that we have the functions here such as register, log in, and log out. For to-dos though, which is like the root for our to-do items, we can see that we have an extra decorator here. We're using blueprints. Our extra decorator here ensures that users must be logged in first before they can even see the main dashboard, before they can create new lists, create new items, delete lists, edit lists, toggle them as done, and get specific list items, and be able to expand on lists, and move items, and edit items. One thing that I did forget to mention here is that if we move Polish Helmet to a new list, for example, move demo, this subquest will become the new top level task because this is how I've designed it to be. And we can see that it's moved here. And to just really showcase this functionality, let's do it again. And it's now here. Unfortunately, they cannot be nested for now, but this is something we can work on in the future. So a few other key components here would be AJAX and vanilla JavaScript for smoother UX. And so I've used AJAX here to handle interactions without needing full reloads. This makes creating, moving, and completing tasks feel instant and keep the experience immersive. For styling, I had a lot of fun here because this is where I applied all the medieval-inspired color schemes and smooth animations. But I also did other functional stuff such as hierarchical indentation for nested items and the responsive layout for mobile devices. If you want to see everything, we can see that there's 1,200 lines for all this Tango. And finally, for the database, I used SQLAlchemy as the ORM, where it can store user-specific lists and tasks securely. I chose SQLAlchemy for its flexibility and easy integration with Flask. Data is durable, meeting the professor's requirement, for persistent storage. See, the password's hashed. Lastly, I built tests to cover authentication and core functionality for to-do. There's a lot of them here, but to show you that I'm not lying, let me run through an actual PyTest. This PyTest shows checks or tests for creating, editing, and deleting tasks, as well as ensuring users can't access each other's data. It's gonna take a while. But that wraps up the demo of my medieval to-do list app. I focused on meeting all the MVP requirements and then added a themed UI and the AJAX interactions to enhance the user experience. Thank you for watching, and let me know if I, should add more multi-Python reference or if there's anything you'd like to explore further. For now, let's finish the test. Perfect. Thanks for watching.